Joining us here today is fourth-year Hawai'i Hilo men's soccer player Christian Souza. So far, he's played in 17 career games. He's been here since 2020 when he was named to the All-Pac-West Hawaii Pod team, and he is now the reigning Pac-West Defender of the Week. You know, I think many people call you Dippy. What's the origin of that?
Well, the nickname itself actually stands for some vulgar language, but basically it began from me training with my sister at a young age. I have a certain personality, and I guess like it showed in their trainings. And say if I were to mess up or anything, they would want to call me another word, but they couldn't really swear in front of their coach. So the first word that came out of my sister's teammate's mouth was Dippy, and it kind of just stuck from there.
All right, there we go. So I guess now people say it with a more loving way, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're coming off your second career shutout. You're named reigning Pac-West Defender of the Week. Just take me through just how that game went. I guess what was kind of the feeling coming out with that win?
It felt really good to bounce back from the loss against Western Oregon, yeah. I know we've been putting a lot of time in, like, working on defending, making sure that we're really on top of, like, defensive third, making sure, like, no shots go in. It was a big help with my defenders because they played a solid game. They're the ones doing all the hard work.
I mean, obviously, it's been 4 weeks of just this season alone, but just, you know, really working on the defensive part of the game. You know, as a goalkeeper, I feel like you gotta have like you gotta forget things quickly, right? Just coming off that last second goal, just what was kind of going through your head, and what was kind of your focus, you know, from that week leading up to the game last Sunday?
Actually, I always think of like how I can better myself, like internally and externally, like technique and stuff like that. But I'd say just really working hard and trying not to let any balls in the back of the net.
All right, sounds good. You're homegrown here, right? You're from Oahu, grew up in Kapolei, went to Damien Memorial School. You in high school, I believe you played football and basketball as well. Just you're one of 5 local players on the team. I think anytime, any school, you have the local players. That's a big part of this. And now you being one of the upperclassmen as one of the leaders. Just kind of take me through what was your process, just playing the sport growing up, and then, you know, high school. I don't know what schools you're looking at. I know a lot of people get caught in the D1 or bust kind of mentality, but just what was your process, and how'd you kind of end up moving over to the Big Island?
So it actually started like with club, maybe my freshman year. So we do a lot of traveling to like the mainland, playing a lot of tournaments, trying to get out there. Honestly, I kind of just wanted to make any college roster, which led me to UH Hilo. I really wanted to stay close to home. I also didn't want to go to any Oahu schools because living in Kapolei and going into town every morning, waking up at like 5 o'clock, even earlier, I kind of wanted to get away from the traffic. So staying in Oahu was not really my choice, and I thought UH Hilo would have been the perfect pick for me, staying close to home. Still have that like Hawai'i, you know. Wanted to represent Hawaii, you know, living here my whole life, and I think we have a special culture here in Hawaii that not a lot of people understand. Like, one thing is family. I really wanted to be close to home. You know, a 35-minute flight is better than 5 hours across the Pacific Ocean. So, like, getting the chance and the opportunity to fly back and forth within like a day or two, you know, like, it's really good for me and like with my mental state, you know.
Senior year, right? You've actually been through a number of head coaches here as well. Just, you know, a lot of changes throughout your 4 years here. You know, I don't know if it was freshman or sophomore. I think it was freshman year for you, right? Well, when the pandemic happened, you know, a lot of unknowns at the time, whether or not you would have seasons, whether or not you even get to play again, or just everything that was kind of going on. That just what's kind of your reflection on just kind of that crazy time, and, you know, now you get to be here. You're 2 games into the season, and
you know, it was really different. Like, not having a lot of people, not actually like having no fans at our games. Like, with COVID, you know, they kind of like stopped spectators from like watching the games. Trainings was just different, like had to wear masks, all that. I guess now it's very much better. I feel like I'm finally getting that college experience, you know, like going out, you know, like talking with friends, just like seeing what Hilo has to offer. And I feel like it's a lot better than what it was during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, really getting like an actual student-athlete experience as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's we had a lot of newcomers coming in this season. What's that kind of been like for you? I mean, you've been a 4-year player. You know, you just keep doing what you're doing, or just what's that kind of like as far as having to, I guess, being the one that people kind of look up towards?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I try to just keep doing what I'm doing. Everything's for the betterment of the team. We as a team want to get better. We want to go places. We want to go far. And that takes every single one of us, including the coaches, and getting the newcomers and all of us like together, team chemistry-wise. And I feel like it's been pretty great.
All right, well, you guys are about to come up on your first road trip of the season. Not yet into Pac-West season, but I don't know. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, some of them, they're going to be able to go back home, see some of their family, but just, you know, UH Hilo is one of the only, I think it is the only team that has to get on a plane for every single road trip. Just, you know, what can some of the new guys kind of expect of this, or just what's kind of the fun or the things to look forward to with these next 2 games?
I'd say different change of scenery. As of right now, I think the temperature and the environment is kind of the same. I think actually last year too, when we did our preseason away in, I believe it was North Cal, the weather temperature was completely different than what it is here. I know a lot of boys are starting to get accustomed to like the humidity, the heat, but when we go up there, it's going to be a completely different atmosphere. And I just think like they just have to be mentally prepared for like what's going to be there ahead.
All right, coming up for these next 2 games as well, some pretty big regional games. Just what's kind of, I feel like your focus, or just, you know, maybe the team's general focus, just what's kind of been going through your head these past couple of days? Like
really remember to like go back to what we've been training on in practice, like our play style, really like keeping the ball, and I guess focusing on ourselves, not really the opponent. I know they're powerhouse CCAA schools, but Diego always enforces like focusing on ourselves, what we can do better, because if we play to the best of our ability and like we work well as a team, like that's what really matters.
All right, sounds good. I mean, that's no better way to wrap it up like that. I guess the last question I have for you is just whether it's, you know, kids who are still young, or maybe guys in high school, or maybe even some guys at JC or freshmen who are sitting the pine, just what's something that's been stuck in your mind now that you wish you would have known earlier in your career?
I think that the mental aspect is just as important as the physical. I know a lot of people always think like skill-wise they're the best or they're very talented, but like mentality plays like a big role in that. I think that hard work is also the most important. Like no matter what happens, say if you're having a bad game or a bad practice, you can never give, like if you give all your hard work, that's as much, you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
but
just always put your 100% that you can. I mean, that's the best you can offer.
Yeah.
All right, man. Sounds good. Mahalo once again to Christian Souza for joining us. The Vulcans are on the road in Southern California, taking on CSU San Marcos and CSU Dominguez Hills September 16 and 18 with their next home matchup. Thursday, September 21st, taking on Chaminade.